sure that you have country specific fields available for your home address, and similarly you have global info. So when you go inside the global info, so these are all different details like ethnic group, veteran status, degree of challenge and all. Similarly, you've got job information. At a job information level, there could be country specific, just like how your job code has country specifics. Okay, so as I said, so success factors, country specific fields are more or less standard when it comes to employee data. Unless until customer requires something, just create a custom field and add it to the existing list. But more or less other standard fields like address format, global information, all these things are usually preferred to copy from the master succession data model that SuccessFactors provides. Is that clear? Everyone? So what is the succession, country specific succession data model?
Yeah.
Because it's same as what we did. It's nothing different at least. Okay, it's just that you need to maintain the data so that you can go and work on it, right? So the next one is the other way of doing it. So let's go to our admin tools. So when we go to our admin tools, so we've got manage business configuration. Right, so here, just give me a second, then we go to our objects, for example, national ID card. So this is your object for national ID card, right? So, and similarly you have your global info. So if you look at it, the HRIS elements that has country specifics are available here, but the national ID format is still not available here, right? So that's why it's important we use XML for certain things within succession data model as well. So for example, the national ID card format, so it's not there, right? The address format was not available, so you need to make sure you actually go and define the ID format there. But otherwise, if you would like to see country specific elements from your objects, like for example, home address. Home address has country specific objects. So this is US, India, whatever you have, the countries, the address format is available here. So you can simply go and modify those objects, just like how we did the other day. Okay? So guys, please put yourself on mute if you're not talking. Please understand that there is a big group here today, so it's important that you guys follow some meeting uh, Thanks. Okay, it's better you put yourself on mute unless you're talking. Okay. Otherwise, it's going to hurt others. So that's how we define our country-specific succession data model. Succession data model objects. So just to see where they come back to us, at the employee data level, where do you see them? So we go to Carla Grant. So when I go to personal information, right? So when I put something here, let's say I go and select India. So the primary, where is the other one? Is someone modifying simultaneously? Someone modifying simultaneously? Not the employee data, but in the managed business configuration. Yes?
No, we didn't measure that much.
Who said that? You did not mature that much.
In success factors.
I thought the other way.
No, there is no chance of that.
So it looks like someone deactivated the ID field because it's important that we have the ID here. So when I go to national ID card, you should also select the card type. You see, oh, this is activated, man. What's wrong? So it's a pickless actually. National ID card type should be a pickless. I don't know why someone modified it. Should be a pickless. Pickless is You see the problem here. So this one is not accurate. I don't know why. See, this one is not accurate because the format or the address type should be mapped to the field is also not available. So this needs to be fixed. Someone wants to work on this? So I just need to enable the field and I'm also not sure if the permissions has been disturbed by someone, which I'll look at it. Don't worry. I'll work on the troubleshooting part. You guys don't worry. So ideally, I'll take you to some of the place where you can see control specifics, just like so when you go to home address, you should see the address format changing as per country. So let's add an address format. When I select United States, this is the format. Similarly, when I select India, the address format changes, right? So let's say, for example, United Kingdom. So address format changes per country, and that's why this is the country specific field. So, and similarly, what else you have is you have to go to your job information and global information to see the details. So this is kind of okay. Okay, so this is how your country specific succession data model works. It's nothing new for you guys, so because whatever you learned in country specific corporate data model would be similar here. It's just that you change the employee or employee data objects end of the day. So there you change the foundation objects per country. Here you change the employee data objects, but the concept should be same. So I want you guys to actually take you through a new concept today. That's positions, because in success factors, positions are considered separately. So in success factors position management, there are certain important things that you guys should remember when we create or work on positions. Okay, so that's something that I wanted to take you through today. Position management. So what is position management? What do you see here? What do you guys see in positions? What is the importance of positions?
So importance of positions where you will, for assigning organization, job, position, grade. So all information giving some, some hard to informations to the position, because position is very highly important where we will map to all the employees, and we can either single incumbent or a shared.
Or we see the capacity utilization, how much we are using respective to that position. That's where we do deal most of the position.
And we need to have a position hierarchy where not only in kind of HCM and for other modules like purchase requisitions approvals or any kind of basic approvals required, position is very, very highly important.
Absolutely. So positions has a hierarchy, as you said. So I'll just put the important topics or important words that you put. Incumbents, capacity planning, capacity. What else? You guys said one more important topic.
The maybe cost centers defining.
Cost centers are defined.
The cost allocation, I could say, that based on the positions.
Okay. That's it? Anything else? All of them are really important points, and thanks for pitching in. So to start with, success factors position management. Guys, please put on mute. Okay, to start with, success factors position management can be independent of your success factors employee central. Okay, that's very important. for you guys to understand. So Employee Central can have position management, or it can, there are customers who don't use position management. And that's considered separate, unlike your SAP world. Okay, in SAP world, positions are like intact with your org structure. Here they're separately created. But remember, end of the day, when we start using positions, it forms a key role for all our org structure related things, because position is mapped to your org structure end of the day. It belongs to a department, a division, or a legal entity, or a business structure, whatever it is. So it contains all of them. So position acts as a interface, or I would say it's a kind of a point that acts as in between employee and the organization. So an employee is assigned to position, and position has all the characteristics that it inherits from the organization structure. Like it takes your legal entity where he works, what division, department, business unit, what cost center, and what kind of job that you work, which pay grade, everything is mapped to your positions. Okay, and we just assign position to an employee. That's it. We don't assign all the org structure or all your foundation objects to employee. We are instead we assign it to position, and from position we inherit to employee. So when we start using position management, positions become key for all your other needs. Okay, for example, if you want to transfer an employee, you don't just transfer the employee, you move the employee from one position to another position. Okay, so similarly, for example, if an employee gets terminated, so you terminate the employee and the position becomes vacant. So you actually keep positions as a key thing for your employee data or whatever it is. So for our for your org structure, the position plays a key part, as I said. To start with, SuccessFactors position management is kind of little different compared to SAP or anything. How is it different? So let's see that.
Praveen, now in SuccessFactors, we can assign notice period and probation period in particular position.
Notice period and probation period.
Yeah, because when we assign a position to any employee, so based on the position setup, so we'll put notice period as 1 month. Certain positions will be 2 months. Same like probation period also. Though.
I would say you can create a custom field. That should not stop you from creating one, because it's an MDF object, so you can just create whatever custom field that you want. But as a standard, I don't think you have it. Okay, so you're free to create it. That should be fine. Is that clear?
Praveen? Praveen?
Yes. Yes.
Hello? Gavin here. As you just mentioned that the position management is an MDF object. Is it right?
Yes.
All right.
All right. So first question, can a position has multiple incumbents? From your SAP world, yes, no?
Yes, we can have multiple ones.
So anywhere in the system, you can have multiple incumbents. That's right. But what is the difference? There's a logic in SAP which stops you saying, okay, a position can have maximum of 100% occupied. So when you occupy a position, you can only occupy it till 100%. So that's a position. When you activate a position, you have an employee who is working on the position, and it says 100%. Can you assign another employee to the same position?
No.
Yeah, we can assign the same position if it's multiple.
That is
If it's multiple, and the thing is, it's
multiple ones.
Usually it's a dummy position that we assign. Right? So can I have an allocation of 1000% in SAP?
No.
Yes, you can. You can have 1000 or even million depending on the configuration. Yes.
In SAP?
Yes, it is possible, because you just remove the restriction that of no 100%, then you can go up to 500% or 600%.
But can you restrict it at one point? When you see, there is an option in SAP where either it is 1-to-1 or 1-to-n.
Yeah, 1-to-n. You can do 1:1 or 1:n, and also there is an option that you can restrict up 100%, and then you can allocate 10 employee, 10% each, like part-time employee, 10 part-time employee working for one single position.
But n here you cannot say 10 full-time employees. Can you do that?
No, you can't. You cannot say that.
Exactly. That's the difference between SAP and SuccessFactors that I was about to explain. Okay. So an employee, let's say for example, when you have 1-to-1, so when you have 1:1 in SAP, you can have 10 people working 10% each, as Kanchan said. And when I have 1:n, you can have any number of people working 100%, right? It is restricted to 100% here. So this is the difference usually in SAP. Whereas when it comes to SuccessFactors position management, so your positions can be 1-to-1, 1-to-n, and 1-to-n. 3 types of 1-to-n. Sorry, 2 types of 1-to-n's. What they are, I'll explain you. So 1:1. The position is usually occupied by one person, a standard case. The second case, 1:n. This is X, or let's say N FTE. Whereas this one is a dummy position or mass position. The SuccessFactors terminology is called mass position. In SAP, usually we call it a dummy position or something. Right. So the difference here is you have got similarly 1:1, what is standard usually. A position is occupied by one person, and 1:n. This is new in SuccessFactors, which you don't have in SAP world or Oracle. I'm not sure, Manoj, how Oracle works. So you have to relate, okay? I can't compare myself. But this is something that's available in SuccessFactors. 1:1 is standard in anywhere, like one position is occupied by one person. And 1:n FTE. Let's say, for example, when I create a position, I can say 10 FTE. For example, this is usually used with lower level employees where, let's say, you have you're working in a hospital and you have nurses. Okay, these nurses come and go every day, so you don't know how many people, how many positions that you have to create for them, because there is a huge, these are temporary employees mostly because they come and go very often. So that's why we cannot create positions for them each and every day. So what we do instead is we say them, it's let's say 100 employees, 100 FTE for one position called nurse, and we put 100 people into that position. So that it helps us in calculating capacity and everything as well. Whereas when I put a mass position, it's like a dummy position. You can put any number of people into that position. So what is the real-time impact of these three settings? When each one of them needs to be used and when we should not use them. Okay, let's take the second example because it's new and obviously it has some problems. Guys, please put yourself on mute. It's Babu. Okay, so let's take the second scenario called 1:n FTE. Okay, let's say I'm using a system where it comes from SAP. Sorry, it comes from SuccessFactors to SAP. So I'm sending employee data to SAP to run, let's say, payroll. Okay, so that means the master data would be replicated in SAP. So when I create an employee, let's say I use this 1:n FTE model for position management, and the 1:n FTE model, let's say I said 10 FTE, right? That means 10 people will have one position. What happens when I send this data back to SAP? Anyone? SAP experts here?
Praveen, can you come up to the question again? Praveen, can you come up to the question again?
Sure. So the second point, right, the 1:n FTE kind of a scenario where, let's say, I have 10 full-time employments for one position. Okay. So I created 10 people for that same position. So what happens when I send the data back to SAP or any other HRIS system?
It says that it exceeded the 100%. You cannot allocate more than 100%. It given a message in there, warning, I think. When you try to allocate more than 100% in SAP, like full-time employee, it shows a warning message there. Based on the configuration.
But if we give 10% of each, then it will allow 10 people.
That's not the scenario, Babu. No, don't bring that scenario here. This is a unique scenario that we have in SUCCESSFACTORS, and that's why I'm taking this example, because I've seen this with customers facing the problem. Okay, so this is a very important point, especially when you go to interviews. So when someone asks you about scenarios, these are the kind of scenarios that you need to talk about, because this talks about experience. Because when you study the books or something, you don't get anything of these things. Because when you integrate standard success factors with standard SAP, this is standard in SUCCESSFACTORS, 1:n FTE, whereas that's not standard in SAP. It throws an error, the integration fails.
Yeah, and Praveen, just wanted to add one point. I have in practical experience, like in SAP, what I have seen, like not used for any customer, but if you, there is a, in OM configuration, if you say that no 100% check there, and then you can allocate 5 employee, each 100% for one position. That would be 500% for one position. But that's not a practical scenario, but SAP allows that.
Right, I heard that as well. But I heard that when we're using that scenario, the FTE calculations won't work. The capacity of the FTE, I mean, what we call that?
The capacity utilization for payroll purpose, it works because it doesn't read from at position level until unless you have a custom configuration. Otherwise, standard only reads from the work schedule. So,
I'm talking about the head count.
Oh, yes. That would be a problem. Yes,
the headcount reporting usually fails because it takes based on the FTEs calculated at the position level.
Completely agree on that, yes. But technically it's allowed, but not a practical scenario. Yeah.
Right. Functionally, this was an error which has been accepted by SAP as well, that this is aimed at customers who might not want to integrate back to SAP.
Hello?
Yeah. Sorry.
Praveen, Gavi here. I just mentioned that, like, if you want going with a position level reporting, there could be a problem. But if you're going with an employee level, it won't be a problem, right? So whatever the reporting you're talking about, if you're going with fetching the report on position level, so one position have a multiple persons. But if you go with an employee level, that
no. So we're going at a FTE level, okay? So when you occupy 10%, it says 10%. Okay. FTE. It's not 100%. So when you go to employee here, when you have 10 FTE, it says 10 FTE. So your head count is 10 complete full-time employees.
Okay.
That's how it works.
When you're trying to differentiate this in FTE or something, you're going to define somewhere else, like, you know, they have done FTE as an employee group or an employee subgroup, where you could get a good number, right?
Employee group, subgroup. Sorry, maybe I did not understand your question. Can you please?
I just mentioned that, like, you know, one position has been shared by 10 FTE, right?
Right.
Now,
no. So one position, it's what should I say? It can be occupied up to 10 FTE. Okay.
Yes.
So a position has a capacity of 10 full-time employees. That means 10 people with 100% can occupy this position, but not above that.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, one headcount is equal to one full-time equivalent. It's simple to say.
Yeah.
Right. Yep. So that's where the problem is. When SAP, okay, when you go back to SAP, so the interface usually is a problem when you use the standard configuration, but there are loopholes, or there could be, there are other options that you can modify. But a preferred way is when you try to integrate back to SAP, use 1:1. That's a preferred way by SAP, so that you don't need to modify any standard things. Okay, the integrations and everything remains standard. So it's important that you create a position every time when you hire an employee. So this is one important aspect, because SAP cannot take multiple positions with the same position ID and with each 100%. That's not possible. Because here 10 people will have same position ID and each one of them is 100%, which cannot be the case in SAP. Okay, so this is one important scenario that you need to talk about when you go to interviews. It's very important.
So, Robin, the question is 1:n. You mean one position you have 10 employee with 100% each in SUCCESSFACTOR.
We can define any number of FTE there when we create a position. We can define one FTE.
It's 100%. You mean?
Sorry, one FTE. I mean 100%. Yes.
Yeah.
And this 1:n is a mass position, a dummy position. So that means there is no limit on the FTE part. You can just put any number of people. Yes.
If it is NFT, so what is the maximum number that SF accepts, SUCCESSFACTOR accepts? Is it only 10 or more than?
Any number. So if you put 100 there, it takes 100 people.
Okay, for one position.
For one position. So you can use the same position for 100 people. So this N should be defined by you. Whereas this one
it is a standard in SAP.
Sorry?
Hello, sir. Sir, can you please explain me how to integrate NFT with the payroll legacy system?
That's what I said, right? So this is a problematic scenario. Since it doesn't allow, so usually prefer this method is what I said.
Or I think 1:n in that case you use 10 employee with 10% each.
No, don't do that. So I have 100% employment for them. So I can't say 10%. That's not the way. Okay, so that's what I said. When you put 10%, your head count, everything is gone for a toss, right? Because it doesn't work the same way.
So Praveen, as like in SAP, we assign 50% to one and 50% to other in for the position, right? So in that case, so which method we take? Is it the first method 1:1 or the second method 1:n?
So here 1:1 is one position to one employee, 100% up to 100%. So your first scenario is your standard SAP scenario.
Another, I think question of Praveen is that if there is a scenario where 10 employee work for part-time 10% each.
Exactly, that's the first scenario. First scenario.
First scenario?
Yes.
Because first scenario says 1:1, one position is one employee only.
This is 100% FTE.
Oh, okay.
Okay. But remember, SUCCESSFACTORS prefers you to create a position itself with 10% FTE. That's a preferred way actually from SUCCESSFACTORS. The best practice. When you create a position, you can say that it's 10% FTE. That's a preferred way when you maintain 1:1.
Oh, maximum don't reduce than 10%. 10% you mean don't go for 5% or like that?
No, there is nothing minimum. I'm saying,
I mean,
when you create a position, right? Yeah, but let's say an employee has 20%, okay? So you have 5 positions like that, which says, 5 people which occupy 20% for the same position. So SUCCESSFACTORS actually prefers you to create 20% positions. That's a preferred way again, as I said.
Okay.
But this one is a unique scenario. Other two are same as SAP scenarios. Okay, whatever works there works here as well. But this one is an FTE where this is something that is unique in SUCCESSFACTORS. You can define the FTE percentage. Right now, so let's say for example, what do you see in positions? What do you see in positions? So these are the standard admin aspects, like whether it's a one-to-one or one-to-n, whatever, we defined it. Now the next important aspect is position will have all your foundation objects: legal entity, business unit, division, department.
Praveen, hello.
Yes.
Is the position is going to link with any job classification or?
I'm coming there only, right? So that's where I'm coming. Department, cost center, job classification. And yeah, obviously, so remember, position and job go hand in hand. Without linking a job to position, doesn't, I mean, the position management is not complete, I would say. Right? Because your job title, everything comes from your job classification. And also your job classification brings in pay grades, pay ranges, everything to your position management. So this is all standard, okay?
And
so
we
for
can assign payroll also.
Sorry?
Which type of payroll we need to assign? It's a weekly or bi-weekly or monthly based on that. So we can assign.
I doubt if you do that at a position level. But if you would like to default it at a position level, that's possible as well.
Yeah, because see, my customers always ask about when I assign a position, I don't need to attach any single thing, even notice period, probation, payroll, even based on the position, all the compensation also should get assigned automatically. I should not go to the employee level, at assignment level. Okay, at the personal information level, yes, I have to create. When I come to assignment level, the moment I assign the position, organization, job, grade, payroll, compensation, notice period, probation period, all the things it should come attached automatically, even with the cost centers also.
Yeah, we have all of them here. If you would like to add anything that you don't see there, that's possible as well. You can bring everything or you don't need to bring anything. That's how it works in SuccessFactors. It's up to you, okay, whatever customer wants, so we can do it that way. So,
yeah, but at the same time, SuccessFactors also should know what are all the standard we can make, what are all we can able to, as you said, we can create the custom feed with probation notice period also. So
yeah, the standard is there already, like your pay grade, pay range are there, so which nothing but your compensation grade and the range of your salary is already available at a position level. Your FTE, you have a lot of them, so which I'll show you. And in addition to that, there is one thing which I forgot to explain before we go and see it in the system. Reporting hierarchy. SuccessFactors has two types of reporting hierarchy. One is your position hierarchy. Second one is regular organizational hierarchy, which is based on the reporting hierarchy. That means you have a supervisor field and you map it, so that generates your org structure or the org chart. Instead, you can also have a position hierarchy, and you can say that position hierarchy leads a organizational hierarchy. In that case, we follow position hierarchy instead of that one. So that means whenever you want to create a manager, it should be through the position. The parent position becomes your manager. So there's a couple of things that I will show you in the system so that you guys can understand. So first, in order to create positions or see positions,
Hey, Praveen.
yes.
Before going further on this position, I have a question. Like the example you gave, you just mentioned in hospital there's a nurse. Nurse is a position, right? And as we talked, like the nurses, the employees come and go in shifts, but at the same time, at the same shift, like multiple nurses, multiple people are working, right? So in that case, was it a one position occupied by 10 people at the time, or is the 10 positions created? How does it in the system?
So in that example, sorry?
I think we have to create only one position, right? Not 10 positions.
Yes, exactly. So the scenario was, since these nurses or someone usually are frequent job changers, and also they are mass in the organization, which really does not have an impact for me. So what I usually do is I create a mass position for them. And if, let's say, if I need 1,000 people, okay, I just create 1,000 FTE position and just put all of them here. So I can also track if someone left, I can see the FTE calculations there. So one
Yeah,
position for all of them.
right. But that's not even in factories that is the same, right? Like the factory workers, whoever is, they are full-time employees, but still they in the same department, in the same in the plant, multiple people are working as what do you call like mm, uh, operators, say machine operator, right? There are multiple operators at the
Yeah,
same time.
you can actually, depends on the customer scenario. So we can actually do that way as well for factories.
So in
So
that
that
case,
should,
so he's a full-time employee and he's working 8 hours on that position. So he's 100%, right?
yeah, he's 100%. But if you create a position for, let's say, which says operator, and the position can store, let's say, 100 FTE.
100 FTE. Okay.
In
So
that case,
in Oracle,
you
how
can
it works
create.
is if I create a worker, if I create a worker, that there should be two fields. One headcount is equal to one full-time equivalent. How many workers we require? If we need 100 or 1,000 or 2,000, let's put 2,000 headcounts and should be a 2,000 full-time equivalents
Right.
for one
Exactly.
position.
So one position when I create, if I say 200, 2,000 FTE, that means we can have people working 100% for 2,000. I mean, we can put one position for 2,000 people who are working 100 FTE. Sorry, 100%.
Okay, got it. Thanks.
No problem. So this is
Praveen,
your
here,
regular org
one
chart
question.
coming through. Yeah.
Again, one question, Babu.
Yes,
here.
yes.
Like, let's say, as you said, one position and 10 FTE is occupied. And in that particular scenario, if we see the cost center assigned to a position, different 10 people want to assign a different cost centers. How can we map this?
So you want
At a
to map
position
different
level?
cost centers to different people?
Yeah, one position, 10 people occupied, right? And that those 10 should have a different cost center, and we are using cost center assignment for a position.
Yeah.
How can
So
we
what is the
Yes,
solution?
the cost center can be assigned in employee level, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, cost center can be assigned to the employee level. The cost center can be assigned to either organization, position, or employee level. So employee level, if we have option, we can able to change it. It should get override.
Absolutely. That was about that's something that's about to answer. So what do you see in section data model when you go to employees job information? Do you remember I gave this scenario as well? I said even though we define a standard or default cost center or department, I would like to change it at an employee level. This scenario we discussed in the class, where we override at an employee level. Same is the case here. Position might have one cost center as default, but we
Yeah, the cost center
override
can
it.
be manual input wherein we can, delink it and we can make it as a field and we can assign cost centers separately for each employee.
See, the structure will be like this. See, for example, when you assign a cost center to a position for 10, if you map to the 10 people, so it will come automatically what you have assigned to a position. Position cost center will assign to all the people. There we have to, for 10 people, we need to change for 4 cost centers. Then we have to go manually, then we have to change it.
It all works with the association, right, Praveen? Association, if you don't have an association, make it as a custom field. Then you can assign different cost
No,
centers for different.
don't bring associations here. Because, so it's not about an association. Okay. Position is not associated with the cost center. It's a field. Remember, it's a characteristic. So cost centers are associated with either departments or legal entities. Okay. Position actually is part of one cost center. That's it. So in that scenario, it's not an association. And also, as someone rightly said, you have one cost center by default for the position. Since let's say 100 people are occupying the same position, there will be only one cost center as default. If an employee deviates from that, then you have to manually change it. That's it. Keep it simple. Is that clear?
Yes.
Everyone? I think that was Bhavani.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
Yeah,
So still not clear?
it's clear.
No, see, associations are like, let's say your department has got 1,000 cost centers, or let's say your legal entity has 1,000 cost centers. That's when we associate it. Okay, your position cannot have 5 cost centers.
Right.
Okay, in that case, what you have to do is every time you create a cost center, you need to map it to a position. That's not the way how it works. Think about this.
Okay. Yeah.
Praveen, in this example, the position is one, we declare, but in a factory or in a place, you have a worker position in R&D department, in manufacturing department, and these two departments have two different cost centers. So, so how does that, like, is it as you said, like as we talked about, first it is defaulted, and then when it is assigned to an employee, that employee belongs to R&D, then the R&D cost center will be updated to that employee data. Am I understanding correct?
Your question is not clear actually. See, for example, I'm an employee, I'm working for R&D department. Initially, I can able to assign one position to me, right? And if you assign me as a one department, yes, the position should be involved. Then if you want to change a cost center, yes, we can do manually to another department cost center.
Right, but what I'm saying is, you are an associate, associate position in R&D. I am associate position in HR, but the position is called associate. Okay, we both belongs to two different departments, totally two different, like one organization, two different departments, right? So the cost center for you is different, and cost center for me is different. But the position is same, associate, right?
Yeah, okay.
So in that
like
case,
SAP, can we handle this kind of situation with job, Praveen?
Then if it's associate, you will assign it to the two department. For example, you have when you have associate, you will assign you.
Excuse me, I'm not talking about associations. I'm trying to understand.
Associate. It's a name of the.
How am I associate? Assigned to HR business unit, HR department cost center. The cost center is 101 for me, cost center is 102 for you. But we are both belongs to one position, that is associate. So where does it differentiate my expenditure to calculates my expenditure in 101 and yours is in 102? That kind of differentiation I'm trying to understand.
Okay. See, for me, you will say multiple assignment to me, right?
Guys, I'm sorry, are we able to hear Praveen?
I think Praveen is on mute. Praveen, you are on mute. We cannot hear you, Praveen. Maybe you are on mute. Can you hear us?
He just got disconnected.
Hello.
Praveen,
I
you
just
are
got
on
disconnected, so no, I was not on mute. I got disconnected. So I was talking about position thing when I got disconnected. So the associations. So not sure where it got lost, but it should be around associations part. Hello?
Yeah, please repeat. I mean, can you please repeat the question? Someone was asking a
Praveen.
question about the associate in HR and associate in R&D.
Association in HR and association R&D.
No, Praveen, this is Suresh. What I was trying to understand is, we have a position called associate, I mean, a trainee. Just take it as trainee, okay?
Okay.
I'm a trainee in HR, and someone else is a trainee in R&D. We both belongs to a position called trainee, right?
No, it's not. You both have two different positions, but the job is training.
Okay, so
Job is a trainee. Yeah.
okay, so in that case, what is the position called? Is it? It's two different.
You create two different positions.
Okay, two different.
Position associate in HR department is a separate one, and position in associate in R&D is separate, but both have the same job as associate.
Okay, got it. Okay, that's fine. I understood now. That's where I got confused. Okay.
Yep. So position is unique, remember. Position is unique, but job is general. Job is like manager, whereas manager HR, manager payroll, manager benefits is specific, so it's a position. Okay, so manager, all these people are managers, that's a job. Manager HR, manager benefits, manager comp, manager whatever it is. These are all different positions. Make sense? So that's a generic description of what you do, that's called a job, whereas a specific thing about your job is called a position. You're a manager in the HR department in so-and-so location, so-and-so this. Is a specific thing, that's a position. Whereas manager, it's generic. It does not talk about where you work, what you do and all. It talks about the nature of your work. So that's a job. Is that clear, Suresh?
Yeah, yes, Praveen, yes.
Good. So
Yes.
we're talking about the hierarchy part. So I hope you can see my screen. So this is a hierarchy screen, right? So this is a regular org chart that we are seeing. So this hierarchy is built based on your manager. So when you have when you have a manager map to it, so this particular org chart gets generated. And you see the dotted line is a matrix manager. This is a regular org chart. Whereas if you would like to follow the position org chart as a leading hierarchy, then you can also define the hierarchies or everything through positions. So position reports to another position. So likewise, you can have position org chart that can be generated. And you can also say which can be the leading hierarchy between the regular org chart and position org chart.
So is reporting org chart or the position org chart is mostly used in SuccessFactors, Praveen?
So it depends, okay, on the customer what they would like to use.
Oh.
So as you can choose anything. So let's say this is vice president. So if the customer was using, let's say if the customer already uses SuccessFactors for some of the modules, then they might already use the regular hierarchy structure because talent goes through the regular hierarchy that we have. So here, if you look at this, there's a position org chart. So here we see people occupied here, 1 by 1 FTE, and this person is the person who occupied it. And similarly, you have 1 by 1 FTE, and this is the person who occupied it. So this is a manager position, which has 3 positions below, and you can see the org chart. Similarly, here also it's 1 by 1 FT and the person occupied, you can see it here. See, you can see the employee's profile when you click on it. So on the right side. So I'm going above. If you look at this here, it's 0 by 1 FT. That means the person is not at assigned to this particular position. You can hire a person from here. So if you look at it, you can add up your position and everything. And I go above. You see all the people, positions and everything. So this guy does not have any further, this position does not have any further reportees. So let's say, for example, I go here, I can add a lower level position or I can add a peer level position. Usually when I go, so since here they don't have a manager, if I go here, I can actually add a peer position or a lower level position. So usually when I add a position, peer level position or a lower level position, the reporting hierarchy, I mean the manager and everything will be inherited by, see, the parent position gets inherited so that the reporting structure is intact. And similarly, for example, if you look at it, so I can say there is a mass position option. This is usually activated when your customer chooses to use mass position. Otherwise, don't activate that particular mass position unless until your customer is using it for some countries. So the mass position is a third option that I've shown you in 1:1, 1:NFT, 1:N. So the third option, mass position option, is this one. So you need to select yes. If at all you have to make it a mass position. Don't do that. Okay, then this is our position.
Praveen, excuse me, mass position is, if I correlate to SAP, is it like the position 9999 which we
9999, exactly, the dummy position, yes. Okay, position as a start date, so I'll put it as 01/01/2010. This is
Excuse me, sir.
yes.
Hello?
Yes, yes.
So position number is can be created automatically or we should create by manually?
We can create a rule which can generate the position. We can create a position which can generate the position number. So that can be automatically done. So this is your job. This is something that you're talking about, Suresh. So these are all analysts, okay? Everything is usually same.
So Praveen, when you from the org chat, when you click on the create peer position or create subordinate position, if you write a rule, automatically system will generate a new position number by itself, or we need to pick it from somewhere and paste it here?
No. System generates here. You need to write a rule which generates a position ID. Every time. Not just here, okay? You can create it from the backend as well. So once you save it, system creates a new position ID.
By default, it will pop up the new number here in this window?
Once saved, it will be available, yeah.
So the rule can be defined as alphanumeric also, right? Or
so usually we define it in a sequence or number sequence. So we need to put the format accordingly. If at all you want to have an alphanumeric, you can also try from the rule. I doubt it because usually whatever I've seen, it's only numeric, but we should see. We'll be doing it, so we'll see how we can do that.
Sir, where did you go to create position?
Sir, in order to form the business rule, you should go to provisioning or you can directly do from here itself.
So provisioning is only for your importing, exporting data models, nothing else. So everything is done in the instance.
So Praveen, in SAP, what we have is we can have internal and external number range. So does anything of that sort happen in SUCCESSFACTOR also?
That's what your the question was, right? So when it's external, I have to give number something, numbering like this. by myself. Whereas if it's internal, system generates an SAP. So that's the same concept that someone asked me just now. Can system generate the number by itself? Yes, we can. That's what I'm saying. Okay, we can generate a rule. I mean, we can write a rule which will generate the position ID.
Maybe you can show us later on for that how
later.
we can write.
We'll go there later. Okay, we'll go to rules and everything. So I'll show you how to write rules and how we can write a rule for position ID generation as well. Okay, so
even you are creating position from this org chart. Where did you go to create this screen to come to this screen?
Where did I
company
go?
Info
company info, positions, and then what did I do? Anyone? What did I show? Okay. So I went here. I said add a peer level position or a lower level position. So I just took one position, peer level position. That means I'm creating something simultaneously here. You look at this one. So we can say target FTE here. You see this one? So I can put 10, unlike SAP. Okay. So this is one way of doing it. We can create a position here, and there's other way as well. The other way is to go to MDF. So where do you maintain MDF objects? In the manage data section from admin tools, you can go here. You can come to create new position. You end up in the same screen here. Okay, so you can have positions here as well. But the point that we need to understand is all these fields can be editable. Whatever you see on the screen, all these fields can be editable. So you can change anything that you wish to. If you would like to add new fields, where should we go? We should go to our MDF screen and maintain your position object. So manage, so configure object definitions. So we should go to MDF screen to create position, change position fields. So someone was talking about adding, let's say, notice period to the position. So we see how we can create it. Let's say I go here, take action. So this is your position standard MDF object available or provided by SUCCESSFACTORS itself. So I'll put it as notice period. So is it a string? No, it's a maybe you can make it a pick list as well, putting 1 month or 2 months or 3 months or whatever it is. Let's say for now I'll just take it as a maybe string and say 2 months. That's fine. So this one is notice period. Okay, so I created a new field in my position object.
So in all fields start with CUST or custom fields, or is that denotes
so the system by default put custom for all the custom fields that we create.
Okay, thank you.
For all the custom fields that we create within the MDF objects, system by default puts CUST. You don't need to put CUST. You see, I just put notice board, notice period, and system renamed it to CUST. We'll go to MDF, so we'll see there how this CUST is coming up. I mean, we don't see the logic in the backend, but we see this is coming. Right, so once you have it, so let's go back to manage. So where can I manage data? So manage data, or you can also say manage positions. Both of them. There are two options for position management. You can go to manage data or you can go to manage positions and simply create positions. So you should see the notice board here. So notice period here. You can put it as 2 months. Okay. Does that answer your question, Manoj?
Yes, and still more question. If we assign here notice period 2 months, for an example, when an employee is resigned, and it should be end date. For example, if I apply for today, and it should be the after 2 months only the end date should be appear for him.
Then you need to write a rule again.
Rule again, yeah. And again, all the approval process is done. Then finally, HR either a pre or post. HR have an option to change the last working date.
That you can modify. Okay, but the end date generation again has to be done through a rule.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. Fine.
And
okay,
Praveen,
yes.
Last time when we did some modification in MDF, like adding a field, we did go to some permissions to make it view editable. I mean, like view. You know what I mean?
So yeah, right now, see the positions in Employee Central. So when I create a custom field in the succession data model or the foundation objects, then I need to go to that field level to see the permission. But in MDF, right now, at least the system that I am using, I set it up in such a way that I'm just giving permissions at an object level instead of a field level for MDF.
Oh, I see. Okay.
We'll go to permissions. Don't worry. We'll go to permissions. We're at to go there. Okay, so tomorrow what we'll do is we'll further continue on positions. We'll create some positions. We'll try to assign it to an employee. There are some rules associated with it, which we'll see. And maybe we'll continue with the propagations concept from there on tomorrow.
Okay. Praveen, there's 2 questions to me to close. See, when we create a position assigning to an employee, then employee resigns and the position will be vacant, right? We can able to see the vacant position. And we have any generic report where, alert sent to a manager, your vacant position is available. Yeah, so when it's going to fulfill or not. So that we can, if the position is not required, so that we can freeze it or we can delete or whatever we can do, right? So is this?
So there is an option where we can, there's something called as position synchronization. Okay, so this is usually we use it in succession management. Okay, you can also use it for general position management as well, where if you would like to delete all your vacant positions, that's possible as well. Okay, you just need to run that. So position management.
So make it is inactive or freeze whenever I require.
Right. So you can sync position mode. That means here it will deletes all your vacant positions, or it will put it in 2BH mode if at all, if it's vacant. TBH is nothing but to be hired. So this is usually, a succession reference, but standard reporting, I don't think we have anything from a standard perspective, but you should be able to create reports which are vacant through your ad hoc reporting. So that should be available. So just need to select.
So we can define a rule with alert, right? For example, say alerts.
Alerts, yes, but alerts are usually defined for employees, not positions. Because alerts concept works, at least the schema works based on the employee data.
Oh, in SUCCESSFACTOR?
Yeah. Like for example, let's say you have employees' last days coming up in 15 days. So admin needs an alert, right? So those are the kind of things that comes under alerts at least.
No, it's to the system, right? If the object is employee is only for alert, even even for all, for example, any organization or position or job, whatever may be, that alert should have. But fine, if it is success factor have one employee, then yes, we have to deal with it.
So usually, I mean, usually that's the way, because we run a job looking at the employee data changes or looking at these changes. I doubt if we can actually run an alert for MDF object. Let me look at it, because at least never came across that scenario. I will see that. Let you know tomorrow. So what kind of alert that you would like to see? All the vacant positions?
All the vacant, yes, all the vacant.
No, that's not an alert. It's actually a report. If you want to run a report every day with the vacant positions and send it to you, that's not an alert. Actually, it's a report, and you need to schedule the report.
Yeah, correct. Well, yeah, either we can do in a report, or for example, when the position is 15 days vacant, it's not fulfilled to any other resources, the alert should trigger automatically to the resource manager saying that this position is available. So it should give a message saying that we should freeze or inactive.
That I doubt. Let me see.
Fine. Because we have a requirement in Oracle, so even Oracle is not there, but we did.
There are a lot of things.
We did a customization like that.
Exactly. Customizing SAP Oracle a bit different than customizing SAP. I mean SuccessFactors, because
yeah. So it's all dual SQL, PL SQL, where we will write a lot of queries, and
that's not possible. So
yeah,
that's why I'm saying I doubt it.
So
okay, I'll check that.
What possible at the employee level. Surely, I think that it is possible in position also, but
because when I say employee level, because that is standard. Okay, they gave a job to run. And, I mean, there is some way it runs actually. So I'll show you that. I don't think scenario that you're talking is possible, at least. Only option that I see is running a report and scheduling the report to appropriate users every day or every week or every 15 days, whatever it is. Okay, so I'll stop here, guys. I have to catch up with a lot of things. So we'll catch up tomorrow.